Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. I am Kickers, the curly-haired mermaid. Today it's going to be a short video. I am going to break down how to use the Denman brush. So before we get started, just a note, the houses are close together here. My neighbors are all home because we are all home. So if you can hear some of my neighbors talking, yelling at their kids, there's nothing I can do about it. So there's that. So I'm not going to be styling my hair today. I'm just going to be showing the details of how to use the brush. You can see I just got out of the shower. My hair is wet. It doesn't look pretty at all. It's just thrown up. So normally when I'm styling with the Denman brush, there's a lot more products I'm using, but since I'm not going to go through a whole styling video today, I'm not going to be doing all of that. I'm just going to be doing some leave-in conditioner and an oil just to help with detangling, and probably going to air dry my hair tonight. But to start, this is my Denman brush. I have a white one that I got from the Denman website. It has, which is already rubbing off, which is making me sad, but a rose gold crown. I got it from the Denman website partly because I saw some reviews on Amazon questioning whether or not the ones that they got off of there were genuine, even though the seller itself is Denman. There's suggestions, I don't know if it's true, that Denman might use a different manufacturer to produce the brushes that are sold on Amazon or at Sally's. Some people have said that the brushes that they've gotten on the website are a higher quality, even though they can confirm that the brushes they got elsewhere are still genuine. So I don't know. I personally feel that it was worth going directly through the website. It cost a little more because I had to pay for shipping. It took longer because I ordered it right after Christmas and they were closed for, you know, a vacation that everybody deserves. So it took me some extra time to get it, but I really think it was worth it because this is a really good brush and I haven't had any of the problems that I've heard other people talk about. So one thing that you notice when you get the Denman brush is it kind of has this little crack here, and that kind of starts to show you how the brush comes apart. So this one is the D3, it has 7 rows, and you can remove the rows of bristles. Some people aren't aware of how to do it, so let's start with that. So you just push it out. And then at that point you can see why there's the little crack, because this comes apart. So once it comes apart, you can see there's all of the backs of the rows of bristles, and you can take out however many you want. I have only used this brush with 7 before, but for today, let's take out some rows. So I am just going to start with the second one in and take out 3 rows of bristles, so I have 4 left. You'll just want to play around with your hair. Some people have better clumping when they use more or fewer rows of the bristles, so just go with some trial and error, just like with everything else. So now I've got my bristles out. You can see every other row is missing, so now you just push these together and you can see that these rubber pieces kind of nest in with each other like that, and then you really just push it back in. Now this is the one thing where a lot of people have said that they have issues with sliding it back in. I have had no problem with this, and I think that it is a testament to the fact that I bought it directly off of the Denman website, but once it's back together, you just slide it back on. And you can see that mine slides on just like butter. It's super easy. I know a lot of people have said that they have a hard time sliding it back on, and and other people have suggested if you get it wet, if you add some water, it kind of helps it slip a little bit better. So I don't know. I have not experienced that problem. So that is how you remove the bristles. If you want to add them back, you just do the opposite. And now I am going to show how to use it. Again, I'm not styling my hair today. I'm just going to put in some leave-in conditioner. I'm using some Moroccan oil today. Because I have nowhere to go, I haven't been very motivated to actually style my hair, which I'm sure many of you can relate to. Now, normally if I was going to be actually styling my hair with the Denman brush, I would first put in my leave-in conditioner and my oil and detangle and brush it through. But then I would put in usually a curl cream before I did the styling with the Denman brush. And I would do a gel or a mousse after styling with the Denman brush. Because basically the Denman brush forms the clumps, and then I add the gel or the mousse afterwards just to hold it in place. I'm not trying to like rake the gel or mousse through my hair usually, so that's why I do the Denman brush beforehand. If you find that your hair does well with brushing in your gel or your mousse, then go ahead and put it in first. So you will notice that I detangled with my tangle teaser because it is made much better at detangling. Now that it's detangled, this goes through very nicely. So you want to do it in sections. And what I do, which I showed in another video, is I first brush it to make sure there's no tangles out. Now, you don't want to just like brush like this, like, okay, I brushed with the Denman brush, it's styled. That's not really how you style with the Denman brush. I actually do that when I'm feeling lazy sometimes. It still leads to slightly better clumps, but not as good as when you follow the right technique. Now, when you are doing like your top layers, a lot of times you want to brush up, but as you can see, my arm's not long enough. So I have to adapt because my hair is too long. So I brush out. Once you get to the lower layers, you want to start brushing out anyways, but if you have shorter hair, you may want to brush up. It gives you more volume. So, when you have all the tangles out, you want to start really close to the root, which is something I struggle with. But you want to start really close to the root because that makes sure that it smooths out all of the hairs and clumps it together from as close to your scalp as possible. And you want to try and get the hair in the middle of the brush because if it's falling off either side, it won't work. So start as close to your scalp as you can, and then you want to twist your brush. So you want your hair to be passing along the side of the brush. And that is what ends up forming the clumps. I personally, my hair, a lot of people's hair, when they do the Denman brush, they can just brush it out and then shake it a little bit and it forms little spirals. My hair doesn't really do that. My hair's a little bit dry for this, so we'll try wetting the other side so we can see the difference when it's soaking wet. This needs a better detangling job. Okay, so now it is soaking wet. I'm just going to squeeze out extra water. You know your hair. You know if your hair styles best when it's soaking wet or when it's closer to damp. Most of us with curly hair, the wetness helps our hair clump together. Okay, so now I've got it very close to the root, but I need to get it more in the middle. It's really hard without a mirror in front of me. Okay, so now my hair is in the middle, and that was not good. Okay, nope. I'm just going to do a smaller piece. Okay, if you notice that you're having trouble with getting it in the middle of the brush, make a smaller section. Okay. So now I can get in the middle of the brush, and now I can roll it and pull it out and shake it. You can see that it clumps together even more at the end, at least my hair. And that actually is probably going to turn out a lot better than this side would. So yes, extra water for me makes a big difference. So that is about all I'm going to show today, just because this video is just about the technique, how to get your brush apart, put it back together, and not about like all of the styling process. So that is as far as I'm going to go today. My hair is starting to drip on me. Please stop dripping on me. Does anybody else hate having like wet? Anyway. So yeah, now you can really see that it combined together into one spiral versus this side that was more damp. It's still combining into one spiral down here, but I'm getting a little bit of frizz up here. So wet your hair and you will get much better definition. Again, when you want to put your bristles back in, you just take it back apart and pop the bristles back in. Ta-da! Now that middle row is back in there. It's super quick, super easy. The other ones are even trying to fall out. That is so easy. Now, one thing to note though is that some of the rows are actually longer than the rest. So I took out the middle row and then the second from each end. And you can see that the middle row is longer. It has an extra bristle as compared to the ones on each end. So you just want to pay attention when you're putting it back to make sure that you pick the right row and get it in the right spot, which, I mean, you will notice if there are too many or too few bristles. You're not losing your mind. You just need to put each row back where it belongs. So the 3 rows in the middle are the same length, and then these next rows out are 1 bristle shorter, and then the very end ones are 1 bristle shorter than that. So the end ones are 2 bristles shorter than the middle ones. So 3 of them are the same size, and then there's 2 middle length and 2 short length. So once you get each of the rows of bristles back in its right place, if you would like to add the bristles, you just slip it back on again. Ta-da! So that is how you use a Denman brush. That is how you take it apart, how you put it back together. I feel like there's not a lot of videos showing how to take it apart and put it back together, so hopefully that was useful. If it was useful, give this video a big ol' thumbs up. And make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss my next video. And drop a comment. Let me know what you want me to do a video about next, or let me know how many rows of bristles do you like in your Denman brush. That is it for today. I hope you are all staying sane right now, or maybe you're watching this video on the other side of things and we have all survived. Either way, I hope you have a great day. Bye.